Welcome everybody. A warm welcome to all PhD candidates and researchers from around the globe. We are very happy that you are interested in our presentation today. What are we going to talk about? In the following minutes, we would like to introduce you to the German research landscape. We would like to provide you with an overview on different research and funding opportunities. In the first part of our presentation, we would like to share some general aspects. In the second part, we would like to make you familiar with our funding programs. But who are we? My colleagues Anne Knab and Rebecca Freitag-Lee, who you will meet in the following, and I, Anina Lottermann, are representatives of different German research and funding organizations. We have teamed up under the umbrella of the initiative Research in Germany. What is Research in Germany? This is an initiative launched by the German Federal Ministry of Education and Research to strengthen the international visibility of Germany as a research location. Our target is to help you finding your way through the manifold opportunities of the German research system. Let's start with some facts and figures on Germany as a research location. Altogether, as you can see on the slide, Germany has about 1,000 publicly funded research institutions. The German government spends almost 100 billion euro in research and development annually. This is more than 3% of the GDP. In Germany, over 600,000 persons work in the research and development sector. German universities and research institutes have a very good infrastructure available and collaborate with partner institutes in nearly 160 countries worldwide. Okay, you might know this, but why else going to Germany? Germany has independent research opportunities. Researchers are able to choose their research topics and methods independently. Germany has secured funding conditions. The commitment of German government and society to research is traditionally strong. Germany has a stable social and political situation. And also this, Germans can even be funny. Whatever you are planning to do in Germany as a researcher, whether you are interested in a short-term research stay or a longer period, you need to find a suitable host institution. To give you some basic orientation, research in Germany is conducted at universities, non-university research institutions, and in industry. As a rule, universities cover the widest spectrum of academic disciplines. Non-university research institutes focus on research ranging from basic to applied research. Industrial research concentrates on applied research and development. But the best is, in Germany, you're usually able to combine different options, no matter where you go. There are two ways of landing in Germany and financing your research in Germany. Of course, you can always look for open positions at German research institutions or open calls, but you can also apply for your individual funding and bring it to the research institution of your choice. In Germany, there are several funding organizations funding different aspects of research. These are funding organizations such as the German Academic Exchange Service, the German Research Foundation, the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation, just to mention a few, research performing institutions such as the Max Planck Society or the Fraunhofer Society, or private and public foundations such as the Volkswagen Stiftung. This is why we would now like to take a closer look into several funding institutions and their programs. My name is Anina, and I work for the Deutsche Forschungsgemeinschaft, DFG, the German Research Foundation. The DFG is the central self-governing research funding organization in Germany. That means that researchers can choose their topics individually and that decisions are taken science-driven. The DFG serves all branches of science and the humanities. It funds mostly research projects at German universities and other research institutions in Germany. The DFG is offering funding opportunities for the entire research career. Researchers with a PhD are eligible to apply. Funded research has to be conducted at a German research institution. That's important. The DFG has also relation offices in other countries such as the US, Brasilia, India, China, Japan, or Russia. I would like to introduce two funding programs from the DFG portfolio. First, the DFG offers grants to initiate international collaboration between international partners. These grants fund bilateral workshops, trips abroad, and guest visits in Germany. The purpose of these grants is to help preparing something jointly, for example, a joint research project. In the case of this program, the partner at the German research institution is the one who has to apply. Applications have to be submitted to the DFG directly. They can be submitted at any time. The program covers daily or monthly allowances as well as travel allowances. The maximum duration of a research stay is 3 months. All funds have to be spent within 12 months. Second, the DFG finances, and that's its major funding program, individual research projects at university or other research institutions in Germany. The so-called Research Grants Program is a modular program that funds everything a research project needs. This includes direct project costs, project-specific staff, and minor equipment needed to carry out the project. It is also possible to apply for funding for your own position or for a visiting researcher with this program. The project has to be carried out at a German research institution, and it has to be of high academic quality, of course. Everyone holding a PhD is entitled to apply. Again, applications can be submitted to the DFG at any time. A letter of intent to the host institution has to be included. The funding is usually granted for a duration of 3 years, but can be extended cost neutrally. The DFG has a lot more to offer, so please check the DFG website for further information. But I will now hand over to my colleague Anne Knab.
Thank you, Anina, for giving me the floor, and thanks to all viewers for your interest today. It's great to have you with us. My name is Anne Knab. I work for the German Academic Exchange Service, the DAAD, and I also work within the Research in Germany campaign, just as Anina. Just a few words about the DAAD. The DAAD is a funding organization for the mobility of researchers and students, which means that we fund the international researchers who would like to do research in Germany, and also German researchers who would like to do research abroad. It's important to know that we have 72 offices worldwide, and most probably there's one of these offices in your home country or in one of your neighboring countries, and you are always very welcome to contact them if you have questions about DAAD programs or just doing research in Germany in general. They will be happy to help. The DAAD has many offers for international PhD students. Because of this, I would like to shortly explain some of the things that are special about doing a PhD in Germany, because in Germany we have 2 ways of doing a PhD, which is not the case in most other countries. So it needs a bit of explanation, and I will do this right now. First of all, there is a way of doing a PhD that's called the individual PhD. Individual means that you have a lot of freedom and flexibility while doing a PhD because you are not part of a PhD program. You work together with one supervisor and make many decisions by yourself or with a supervisor. Because you're not part of a program, you also don't have usually a mandatory schedule. So you can manage your time by yourself and work at your own pace and make all the decisions you need to do with your supervisor only. For this, you need to be very good organized and self-disciplined. And I know this is not for everybody, but because of that, many people prefer to do structured PhD, and this is very similar to the PhD programs in English-speaking countries. In the structured PhD, your PhD is part of a PhD or research program. You have a fixed schedule, mandatory courses, and a team of supervisors responsible for the PhD students. Like this, the supervision is more intensive than in the individual PhD. If you are applying for a PhD position in Germany, it's always good to keep in mind that it can either be the individual or the structured PhD. So like I said, the DAAD has a lot to offer to international students, and I'm going to present two of our funding programs to you now. Before I do this, I would just like to point out shortly that we have many more programs, and you can find them at the funding guide database. The website is mentioned here on the slide, so it's always worth to look this up as well. The first program that I would like to present to you is the Research Grants Doctoral Programs in Germany. It's funding for doing the whole PhD in Germany. You can do your PhD at a university or a non-university research institute, and it's not subject specific, the funding. You can receive the funding up to 4 years, and the funding will be about up to 1,200 euros a month. Plus additional allowances such as insurances or travel subsidies. For application, you need to have an excellent master's degree, a PhD proposal, and you need already to have found your PhD position, your host institution. So you cannot apply without having found your host institution. If you want to know more about this program, you can also look it up in the funding guide. The second program I would like to present to you are the 1-year and short-term grants. They are very similar to the doctoral programs in Germany. The only difference is that it's for a shorter stay, 1 month up to 12 months. Apart from that, the value of the program is the same. Also the requirements for application. And this program is also applicable to postdocs and junior researchers. But apart from that, it's the same requirements as the program I presented to you a second ago. So these were the most important programs, and if you would like to look up more, I just repeat it shortly. The funding guide database will help you with this. And with this, I would like to hand over to my colleague Rebecca, who works for a non-university research organization. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anne, for handing over to me. My name is Rebecca Freitag-Lee, and I'm from the Fraunhofer Gesellschaft. As Anna already told you, Fraunhofer is a non-university organization, and we are one of the world's top leading organizations for applied research with about 27,000 members of staff worldwide. The goal of Fraunhofer Gesellschaft is to bridge the gap between industry and research and create real innovation. In order to do so, Fraunhofer maintains 72 research institutes in Germany alone, and those are covering a wide range of topics, for example, health, environment, security, communication, energy, and mobility, but also topics like political and social sciences. Very different from universities, Fraunhofer mainly works on behalf of contractors from the industry and the public sector. That means if you do your research at the Fraunhofer Institute, you will work in close collaboration with scientific, industrial, and political circles. More than that, Fraunhofer is also very active on the international field. We have international cooperation with excellent research partners and innovative companies worldwide in order to gain access to the best research groups and the most innovative markets. So this is why you will find Fraunhofer liaison offices and project centers in 22 countries abroad. So what kind of research and funding opportunities does Fraunhofer offer to you? One is you can have your individual doctoral project as a Fraunhofer Institute. Anne already explained to you how an individual doctoral program works in Germany. And the difference is if you have your doctoral complete at a Fraunhofer Institute, you will work on real exciting projects in our state-of-the-art equipped labs at a Fraunhofer Institute. Who can apply for the project? Of course, students with an outstanding university degree equivalent to a German master's degree with the ability to conduct independent research. But that's not enough. More than that, you have to have excellent team working and communication skills and a very good proficiency in English. How does it work? What kind of funding do you get? You will get a working contract of 3 years with the public salary, and if depending on your success and performance, there are also bonuses for you. The duration of the contract initially is 3 years, but we can extend it to up to 6 years if you can show promising results. How can you apply for an individual doctoral project at Fraunhofer? Actually, there are 2 ways. One way is to have a look at the website of our Fraunhofer Institutes and our job exchange and see the advertised positions, vacancies there together with the closing dates for application. The second option is if you bring your own funding, like for example, a grant from DAAD, you can apply to any Fraunhofer Institute anytime independently from any vacancies or advertised positions. The most important thing is that your research proposal matches the topic of the Fraunhofer Institute. As I said before, the goal of Fraunhofer it is to bridge the gap between research and industry and turning research results into innovations and applications. And in order to attract the most innovative minds worldwide, Fraunhofer maintains the grant program Fraunhofer Attract. What does it offer to you? Fraunhofer Attract offers outstanding scientists the opportunity to develop innovative ideas towards an actual application in your own research group in close cooperation with the industry. The grant provides you as a scientist with an attractive package of both funding and management responsibility, as well as outstanding working conditions and state-of-the-art equipped Fraunhofer labs. Who can apply for Fraunhofer Attract? Senior as well as junior researchers can apply. They have to have an excellent qualification and of course an outstanding research track record with at least a PhD qualification or equivalent, and preferably some postdoctoral experience. But that is not enough. Apart from your scientific qualification, you also have to have a very firm grasp of traditional leadership and management skills. Then you will be heading a research group as the leader. So what do you need to bring? You need to bring a promising and innovative idea for an industrial application that matches the business and technology fields of one of our 72 research institutes. And this matching is very important because you cannot apply alone. You have to apply jointly and together with the Fraunhofer Institute. Your research group is to be integrated in. What type of funding do you get? You get a work contract and funding of up to 2 million euros for 5 years, so about 500,000 euros per year. And with that, you can fund your research staff, your equipment, and of course the group leader's salary, which is yours. As I said, during these 5 years, the goal is to establish an independent research group. And this independent research group is to be a new R&D segment within the Fraunhofer Institutes. And this new R&D segment, you will assume executive functions. How can you apply for Fraunhofer Attract? Every year we have 2 calls for proposals. And what is important, as I said before, only joint applications with you, the scientist, and the director of a Fraunhofer Institute can be considered for funding. And for the addresses and application deadlines, you can check the link you see below. What is important, this kind of project is not, this kind of program is also offered by other institutions than Fraunhofer. For example, the DFG, which Anina told you about, they also have the so-called Ambinöter program, which offers similar conditions. So this was our short introduction to research and funding opportunities in Germany. We hope that we could give you a good overview of how you can conduct your research in Germany. And if you need more information, you are welcome to go to our website, researchingermany.org, click on the funding programs. There you will get an overview over the different programs, the organization and databases, and you can also download our brochure, Funding Your Research in Germany. Also, we put together some helpful links for you. These will guide you through the German research landscape and will help you to find the right institution for your project. So, and if you have any more questions, please contact us. We are very happy to tell you more about research in Germany and the funding prospects. We will try to answer all your individual questions, and we will be very happy to see you in Germany soon. Thank you very much.